Yo, what is up guys, Ghost here, welcome back to Stormgate Central, and today we have the second semi-final in the 12th, actually, Alpha Navigators Cup here. And this is going to be Theory versus Snoxtar, so up in the top right here we have Snoxtar playing in the red, going Iron Vault first, and down in the bottom left we have Theory in the blue. So both players here sending out their Hexens to have a bit of a scout. Theory looks like he's sending an Imp just down to his ramp there. Probably going to be making either an Iron Vault or a Conclave there. I guess we'll see which in a second. And we're having a bit of a Hexen face-off in the center here. Looks like... who has more health? I don't know. It's kind of hard to make it out here with the little pips overhead. It looks like... oh, Theory's just picked up one of the health drops there on the map. So this is kind of one of the map-specific features here that they have specifically on Broken Crown, which is the first map of the day here. And it's these little health flowers that you can pick up by attacking them and then running over them. So, neat little feature. I really like that Frost Giant do that in their maps. Some maps have Luminite and Therium pickups that you can get access to. Other maps have special creep camps that have catapults and crazy stuff like that. So, every map you watch is going to be somewhat different. It's going to perhaps favor more aggressive or defensive play, and depending on the play style of the player, they're going to obviously be affected there in which maps they pick. So it is going to be Iron Vault here for Theory as well. Pretty much mirroring each other, aren't they? So, both of these players, they have kind of different playstyles, I would say, when it comes to Infernals. Theory, we see him generally go, at least from what I've seen of him, in a more gaunt-heavy style. He likes to get Weavers later on in the game. He likes to pull in those big units. If he's against Vanguard, he'll pull in the Atlases. If he's against Infernals, he'll pull in the Hellborn. Snoxtar, on the other hand, we saw him go for some pretty heavy Harbinger play and a lot of drops. And what he would do is put the Hexens with the Miasma in the drops along with the Gaunts and perhaps even a Brute, and then drop those down in the mineral line, trying to get a Miasma off there to infect all of the workers and then spawn Fiends on them. We also saw Theory doing this as well, so kind of interested to see what these guys are going to do, most likely knowing each other's playstyles, because both of these guys are actually playing for Aftermath Esports, so they're team buddies. This is kind of like a friendly, I guess, even though it is in the middle of a cup. Snoxtar is getting a nice scout off on Theory here. No damage really coming in there. How are we doing on the Shrine on Theory's end? I'm not sure. It has got a... Snoxtar does have the Conclave coming down there. I think Theory's Shrine is pretty much on par with Snoxtar's timing. Okay, Snoxtar's is just a little bit later there, but only by a smidge, so it's really not going to make a major difference. Snoxtar is very ever so slightly up on supply, so that's probably the reason why his expansion is a teeny bit behind there. And he's just going to keep on creeping around the map here. So, the question is, which one of these guys is going to get out the Harbinger first? The Harbinger, of course, is the dropping unit for the Infernals, equivalent to the evac of the Vanguard. And that's oftentimes the first play we see. We have now noticed that Theory has taken a third, and so has Snoxtar. So neither of them are going to be doing anything overly aggressive. They're both just macroing up here, securing themselves a good foothold on the map, creeping around, trying to take whatever towers they can. And in terms of that, Snoxtar is coming out ahead. He has his Luminite tower on his side of the map, and then he has both of the observation creep towers as well. Interestingly, okay, Theory is now taking his Luminite. Neither of them are going for the Therium at the sides of the map, so most likely not going for anything super Therium heavy. In the last game, we saw Mixu go out and take both of these. In fact, I've noticed he takes both of the Therium camps in most maps almost all of the time because he wants to get those early upgrades, and that way he can keep his workers in the base more so on the Luminite rather than the Therium. It seems for whatever these guys have planned, they're not really going to do that. A fourth now coming down for Theory here, and we're only like a couple of minutes into the game here. What is this, like 4 minutes? There is no in-game timer here because I believe this was actually observed live rather than being a replay, so that's why things look a little bit different, and we've actually got the supplies and stuff like that at the bottom of the screen, but things look pretty equal right now. Snoxtar is doing the exact same thing, bringing up his fourth there, just plunking it down within a matter of seconds. And, yeah, things are looking pretty even Stevens. So soon, we should be seeing tech coming out of one of these players. Okay, there we go. We see a ritual chamber. That is something I expected to see for Theory, more so because he often likes to get weavers, but those are often as a counter to units like the Hellborn. We don't see any Hellborn coming out of Snoxtar here. Of course, the other reason he might want to build a ritual chamber is so he can upgrade the Hexens. So, like I mentioned at the start of the game, Snoxtar really likes to do this play where he gets the Harbingers and he drops a couple of Hexens in the enemy mineral line or the Luminite line and then gets some Miasmas off there. Unfortunately though, for the Miasmas, you need the Hexen Master Training, so he's going to need to get 2 full upgrades for them. And now we can see that is indeed the path he seems to be taking. We can see him putting down the venom traps there, which will, those little green petal flower looking thingies, they will actually explode on enemy targets doing 50 damage, and they'll infest the enemies and also spot them. So that little eyeball thing, that means that they have been revealed, so to speak. They're going to be spotted in the game and you'll be able to see where they go. The same thing that the Skull of Shedder does, really. So I can only assume that he's now getting the Master Training and that Miasma ability is going to be coming up very soon. So here we see the Twilight Spire coming down as well. That means only one thing. He's either getting Harbingers for drops or he's going to be getting Spriggans. And I think given the fact he is going for this Miasma play here with the Hexens, it's definitely going to be those Harbingers. So what is Theory doing back home, though? We haven't really seen that yet. Supplies are still pretty even. Looks like Theory is trying to get in there and take the Luminite. He has pretty much evened out map control here. He has the Luminite tower of his own there. Getting a shrine right next to the Therium. And we did see, I think, 3 conclaves built in the base. So just as expected, he is going to be going for some pretty heavy gaunt play. Also mixing in some Hexens of his own. That is one of the drawbacks to the Infernals. They only have one gathering building when it comes to Therium, and it's the shrine. So if they want to be able to gather as optimally as possible, they need to build a shrine next door to the Therium, which is pretty pricey. Whereas, of course, the Vanguard get the Scrapyard, and the Celestials can build a, what is it called? A Fabricator, I believe. So I think's better of going for the natural here. He's going to drop into the 3rd by the trees, plopping down a really nice Miasma there, going on all of those gaunts, and you can see they are now all infected or infested. And the Fiends, oh, he has to be really careful here. This could easily snowball out of control for Theory. I think he is just about going to hold on here, but it's pretty even there with the Fiends and the Gaunts. You can really see how effective that Miasma is. What he was trying to do there is block the pathing from the trees in there so that Theory would have no choice but to run into that and get all of his units infested if he wanted to save that base. But yeah, you have to be incredibly careful. If there would have been maybe 2 more Gaunts, he would have easily overpowered Theory's Gaunts there, gotten a bunch of Fiends from them, and, well, this could well be GG. It really is that much of a snowbally effect, and that's probably one of the reasons that they took it off of the Gaunt. The Gaunt, of course, used to be able to infest natively without any upgrades at all in the last playtest. They've now removed it from the Gaunt, and they've put it solely as an ability on the top bar, also the Flayed Dragon, and then, of course, for the Hexen with the Miasma and the Venom Trap. So he's come down the bottom side of the map here, going to go and try and have a poke at the other 3rd. Does take down the Shrine Stone there, that's just a regular one, it's not one of the call-in ones that you get from the top bar. But Theory is now coming and reinforcing with some Gaunts of his own, so hopefully he's going to be able to mop this up. I think, yeah, he got out with all of the Imps there, so all we're seeing really here from Snoxtar is denied mining time. The problem with these Gaunts is they don't really kill the Harbinger so fast. In the last game when Mixu was using Hedgehogs, we saw the Harbinger go down super quick, but Spriggans come in from Theory, and that's going to deal with this Harbinger no problem at all, and down it goes. So I guess that's the answer there. So we now know that Theory has a Twilight Spire as well. Is he going to bother with some drop shenanigans of his own, or is he just going to get those Spriggans and use them instead? Obviously, a really great defensive tool here. You can be all over the map with them. Pretty decent for harassing as well. They do have this, like, Venom attack, which will reduce the building speed on enemy structures. So that can be pretty handy if you can work that into attacking the enemy. And now Snoxtar's coming in on the other side, so he's been back and forth here. He's gone sort of left, right. Now he's gone left again. Over on the right side, I can see there's another attack in Theory's, like, 5th base, I guess, down in the bottom right. He's actually taking a 6th base too. So we're, what, 10 minutes into this game and 6 bases coming out of Theory. Yeah, it's the Fiend attack here. This base is definitely going to go down. He can't defend this on all fronts, but he is going to defend with his main army over on the left side of the map. No problem at all. Despite losing that base, he's still pretty much even with Snoxtar, and more than that, he has an advantage in supply here of about 20. So this isn't looking too hot for Snoxtar all of a sudden. He's invested quite a lot of Therium into the upgrades for the Hexens, and you can see 4 Hexens there hanging outside of his base. But it's not really paid off so far. He's not gotten too much damage done, I feel, with those drops. Hasn't really killed any workers. And Theory is now starting to come out in front in terms of supply. So there is going to be a big counterattack from Theory coming here. It doesn't look like he's going to drop anything himself. Magmadons have come out as well here for Snoxtar. So we'll see if Theory decides to add his famous Weavers. There are no Hellborn, so maybe there's no call for that. Bunch of Shrine Stones going down there as he sees Theory take this Luminite camp, and he thinks, aye, mate. Something's up there. I got a feeling you're going to attack me. It's time for revenge. Another shrine there coming down for Snoxtar by his Therium, so it looks like both of these players wanting to ensure that they have as much Therium as possible. Man, I gotta tell you, I really mix up the words theory and Therium in this game. It's hard to cast this guy. So Hellborns have actually now come out. Oh, and also for Theory, it looks like. So there's a new upgrade building for the Hellborn specifically called the Hellforge. I haven't noticed that in either player's base, but I don't know, perhaps I haven't been paying attention. Maybe some of you guys noticed that. So Hellborn versus Hellborn is what it's going to be. Big push, though, coming into this corner base by Snoxtar. There's a lot of Magmadons, and just look at how many Hexens there are. Like, I don't know if you can stack the Miasmas if they'll do more damage. What they actually do, as well as infesting enemy units, is they increase the damage taken by Infest by 700%. So as long as you've got one underneath the enemy, I don't really think it makes any difference. You just want to spread them out and make sure that you infest the entire enemy. I feel like Snoxtar's getting a little bit spread out himself, though, here. He's allowing Theory to whittle down the army. He's getting some great miasmas down there, but if he's not going to get any kills, like, all of those Hexens have just moved forward to channel that cast, and now they're all dead. And this isn't looking too good overall. I mean, sure, Theory's lost a lot here as well, right? The gaunts have all gone down, but those are readily rebuildable for Theory. Let's remember here, you can store charges with the Infernals and then just pump out a bunch of units. And if you look at the bottom, Theory's floating 1200 Luminite and about 400 Therium, whereas Snoxtar is pretty much broke. So Theory is going to be able to reinforce so much faster than Snoxtar here, especially since he's in a defensive position. I think Snoxtar should probably give it up now. The Hellborn are going to get denied as well by these Spriggans. They cannot attack air. In fact, the only thing that Snoxtar has that can attack air are gaunts, and I don't see any gaunts right now. Flame on Imps have come out for Theory as well here, down in the bottom right. You guys maybe noticed there was a couple. Oh, there they come again. They're going to go straight onto these Hellborn. What a cool unit. I have to say, one of the coolest abilities in the game. You know, Imps, they may not hold a candle to the Vanguard's bombs when it comes to defending, but as soon as they get that Flame on ability, they're just so much more of a useful unit. You can take them into your main army once you go and attack across the map and say, you know what, I don't even need this many Imps. I'm just going to attack. But Snoxtar now has a Flayed Dragon out. So if he can double this with the Miasma there, he's actually going to get twice as many Imps, oh sorry, twice as many Fiends out of the Imps, I should say, as you would normally get. So there you can see 2 Imps go down and 4 Fiends now pop out instead of the 2. And all of a sudden, Theory is actually looking in big trouble. The supplies have just leapt ahead for Snoxtar here. I don't know if it's the Fiends that have been coming out of him here, but he is now 60 supply ahead. He's managed to keep the Flayed Dragon alive. And thanks to all of those Fiends that have been popping out, Snoxtar hasn't really needed too many units. And GG, Snoxtar is going to take game number 1. As we move on to map 2, Lost Hope. This is, of course, the 4-player map here. A brand new map that was actually released in Frigate, and I think this will be coming to the game in early access as well. So both players have to decide where they want to scout. This isn't cross spawns. They are next to each other here, so we're going to see which direction they want to go. There's an imp moving out for Theory, who is this time playing in the red in the top. Snoxtar going to be the blue down in the bottom right corner of the map. So Theory is going to be going Shrine first here. He's banking on the fact that they're not really going to scout each other early enough to get any kind of major attack or anything super aggressive. Although, to be fair, we did see MSRM do this in a previous game in the quarterfinals. He scouted his opponent straight away, and he just pushed over there with a bunch of gaunts and a few brutes. Took a game fairly easily. But right now, Theory's just going to be moving out and creeping, waiting for his shrine to come up, and it looks like back home for Snoxtar, he has done the exact same thing. Yep. Although he's decided to take a different expansion, so there is a couple of different ways you can go on this map. Over in the corner there where Snoxtar has taken his, you've got the Therium and the Luminite, but over towards the I guess the ramp, you've just got a single Luminite mine there. So maybe that's going to show a difference in tactics. Special tactics, I guess you could say. 2 Conclaves coming out for Snoxtar. And let's see what Theory decides to... Oh, sorry, Theory decides to open with. See, I knew I'd mess it up, guys. I knew it'd happen. He's got something on the ramp there. Come on, show us what it is. What is it? I don't know. Actually, 3 Conclaves now coming out for Snoxtar, so there's going to be some heavy gaunt play. There we go. Okay, there's a couple of Conclaves now for Theory, but these are way later than Snoxtar's Conclave. So potentially, if he goes in and attacks with a big gaunt push early on, there is a chance that he could really start to snowball this game in his favor. I'm not sure why they're so much earlier for Snoxtar. Perhaps he spent less money on imps and just put them into buildings. How many workers have we got here? We've got 9 and 4 at the expansion of Theory. Plus 12 there. Would like to see expansion for Snoxtar as well and see if that's lacking in workers. But I guess we're not going to get to. Sometimes I really wish I was observing the games myself so I could check these things out. But alas, this is a VOD I'm commentating over. So Snoxtar is starting to move up towards the middle of the map. For now, he's only creeping around, but he's going to start building up those fiends. Every single Skull of Shedder that goes onto one of those creeps. It is... Ooh, I like this. So he's going through the trees. There is actually another expansion that's tied into your initial base. Only that little ramp there is separating it. And what is he going to do here? Is he going to throw down a barrow farm or a meat farm? Or maybe even a shrine stone. I love this attack out of Snoxtar here. Completely unexpected. I'm not sure. That looks like it's a shrine stone coming up here. The Hexen, of course, doesn't have miasma. He doesn't have the research yet, but it's still going to be doing some great DPS. And for each Skull of Shedder, you can see it by the eyeball symbol there. That unit is going to be infested, and it is going to spawn a fiend. So he really, really needs to keep the Hexen alive. And Theory is in a lot of trouble. He only has imps left here. Where are the gaunts? I think the Conclaves just came out way too late for Theory. And GG. That's going to be it, guys. Snoxtar takes game number 2, 2-0 over Theory. Well played. So it looks like he is going to be moving on to the final, going up against Mixu. So that's going to be an Infernal versus Vanguard finals. That game should be coming up tomorrow, guys. So keep your eyes peeled to the channel. And as always, if you enjoyed the content here on the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. There will be lots of content to come from me on Stormgate as we go into early access and beyond. We're going to be doing casts and guides. Lots of more Stormgate news will be coming as well, I'm sure. So if you guys enjoy that, hit that sub button. Thank you for watching the video today, and I'll see you all in the next one.